Hello, everybody. Today we're going to read a news that came out today. Warner Brother deals clearing the path for Paramount. Here's what happened. On Thursday, Warner Broad announced that Skydance owns Paramount. Latest offer to buy the entire company for $31 per share was superior to the agreement it has previously struck with Netflix. Netflix is walking away from its offer to buy Warner Bros. Discovery Studio and streaming businesses in a stunning move that effectively puts Paramount in position to take over its story Hollywood rival. On Thursday, Warner Bros. Announced that Skydance owns Paramount's latest offers to buy the entire company for $31 per share was superior to the agreement it had previously struck with Netflix. So Warner gave Netflix for business days to come up with a counteroffer, but Netflix insisted responded less than 2 hours later, declining to raise its proposal. It says the new price it would have to pay made the deal no longer financially attractive. We believe we could have been strong stewards of Warner Bros. Iconic brands, Netflix co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters said in a joint statement. But this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price. A Paramount buyout of Warner Bros. Discovery would reshape Hollywood and its wider media landscape. And, like, and unlike Netflix, which was only eyeing Warner's studio and streaming business, Paramount wants the entire company. The entire company. That means HBO Max, cult favorite titles like Harry Potter, and even CNN would soon find themselves under the same roof as Paramount, CBS, Top Gun, and the Paramount Plus streaming services. A Paramount buyout of Warner Bros. Discovery would reshape Hollywood and the wider media landscape, and unlike Netflix, which was only eyeing Warner studio and streaming business, Paramount wants the entire company. That means HBO Max, cult favorite titles like Harry Potter, and even CNN could soon find themselves under the same roof as Paramount, CBS, Top Gun, and the Paramount Plus streaming service. In a statement Thursday night, CEO David Zaslav said Netflix executives have been extraordinary partners and that he wished them well in the future. After months of a heating back and forth amid Paramount hostile campaign to take over Warner without the board's blessing, Warner also is tunes about the remaining prospective buyer. Warner board has officially adopted Paramount merger agreement yet, but once it does, Zaslav said it will create tremendous value. He added that the company was excited about the potential of a combined Paramount Skydance and Warner Bros. Discovery. Paramount did not immediately respond to requests for further comment, but CEO David Ellison earlier applauded Warner's board, affirming the superior value of our offer. How the West reacted to Dio's initial response and passionate outcries largely centers on fears over jobs cuts, subscription fees rises, and antitrust concerns regarding the increased market share the entire bid would create and the potential in the potential negative impact the Netflix accusation might have on the future of the film industry. The image of the OTT giant since launching House of Cards in 2013, Netflix has cultivated an image as television's great disruptor, a tech company that rendered the old broadcaster model obsolete. What's more, this is a reputation that journalistic and scholarly debate has often burnished. Friends leaving the platform. When Netflix UK recently announced Friends will be leaving the platform at the end of the year, the subscribers responded with uproar, revealing just how much room just how much reruns matter to the streaming audience. The Warner catalog, which includes trends, offered Netflix a ready-made library to meet this demand. Amazon's USD 8.5 billion purchase of MGM in 2022 reflected a similar calculation, with the studio library alone valued at USD 3.4 billion. What this tells us is that the film and the TV back catalog, long the foundation of cable television, have become equally foundational to streaming. A Paramount Warner combo will combine two of Hollywood's five legacy studios that remain today. In addition to their theatrical channels beyond Harry Potter, Warner Bros. Warner movies like Superman, Barbie, and One Better After Another, as well as a hit TV series like The White Lotus and Succession, would join Paramount content library. Paramount lines up of titles include Top Gun, Titanic, and The Godfather, and beyond CBS, its own network like MTV and Nickelodeon, as well as the Paramount streaming service. As a merger between the two companies will put CNN under the same roof as CBS, which has already seen significant editorial shift under new Skydance ownership. Paramount took steps to appeal to more conservative viewers in its new operation, notably with the installation of Free Press founder Barry West as an editor-in-chief of CBS News. And if the company takeover bid of Warner is successful, critics warns similar shift could happen. CNN, a network as long that has long attracted ire from Trump. Any concerns about Netflix owning Warner Bros. are heightened by the prospect of Paramount owning all of WBD, but it might not even matter. Mike Pro- Prokes, vice president and research director at Forrester, a market research company, said in the email, "Politics are playing an outsized role in this deal, and they've been on Paramount's side from the get-go." President Donald Trump has a close relationship with the billionaire Oracle founder Larry Ellison, the father of Paramount's CEO David Ellison, who is having backing Paramount's bid to buy Warner, and Paramount's aggressive push to acquire Warner arrived just months after Skydance closed its own buyout of Paramount in a contentious merger approved just weeks after the company agrees to pay the president $60 million to settle a lawsuit over editing at Paramount's 60 Minutes program on CBS. Still, Trump has continued to publicly lash out Paramount over editorial decisions at CBS 60 Minutes, and while the president previously made unprecedented suggestions about his involvement in seeing a Warner deal through, he since walked back those statements and maintained the regulatory approval will be up to the Justice Department. Still, the still top Democratic lawmakers have sounded the alarm about the Republican president's ties to companies like Paramount and potential consequences of growing corporate power. A handful of Trump-aligned billionaires are trying to seize control of what you watch and charge you whatever price they want. Democratic Sen. Elizabeth Warren, a longtime antitrust hawk, said in a statement Thursday night she also called a potential Paramount Warner combo an antitrust disaster. Executive at Paramount have bigger Executive at Paramount have argued that merger with Warner will allow it to compete with bigger rivals, particularly in the streaming space, and bring larger content libraries for its customer. But Warren and other critics says such as merger threatening higher prices and that a Warner takeover would only further consolidate power in a industry already run by just a few major players. Some trade groups also warned that could mean job losses and less diversity in filmmaking. When Netflix was still in the running, one of its key arguments against a Warner Paramount tie-up was that it will combine two very similar companies, two legacy studios, two theatrical channels, and two major news networks. The streaming giants said that posed a higher risk of job losses and other competition concerns. In contrast, executives from both Netflix and Warner argue at a Senate antitrust hearing earlier this month that Netflix doesn't have the same studio and film distribution that Warner does. That was one of the reasons that Netflix offers appeals to us so much. Bruce Campbell, Warner's chief revenue and strategy officer, told Senator on Feb 3 nothing that the company believes Netflix will not only keep Warner's operation intact but invest in continued production. How regulators will respond to a Warner Paramount deal remains to be seen. The U.S. Department of Justice has already initiated reviews, and other countries are expected to do so, too. Warner shareholders will have to convince too. Beyond a higher price, Paramount has also tried to entice them by pledging to move up in the previously promised ticking fee. The company initially said it will pay 25 cents per share for every quarter the deal drags on past the end of the year. Now it's agreed to pay the amount if the deal doesn't go through by the end of September. It also agreed to a regulatory termination fee of $7 billion. While Paramount is taking on billions of dollars in debt to finance its offer, something critics have warned could only increase to the likelihood of potential job losses and another restructuring down the road. Foreign sovereign wealth funds have also provided equity for the offer, drawing added s- scrutiny with added inputs from agencies. And this is the end of the article. Thank you so much for watching and me reading this news about Warner Bros. Deal. And have a good day, guys. Bye bye.